Violence has flared up in Tel Aviv during a rally in honor of an Israeli-Ethiopian teenager who was shot dead by an off-duty police officer. Thousands took to the streets in what appears to have been a spontaneous demonstration. Some clashed with riot police and others set cars and rubbish bins on fire, as you can see. The police officer who shot the teenager said he felt his life was in danger after youth started throwing rocks at him. The teenager's family has demanded an immediate investigation. The Ethiopian community in Israel has in the past complained about mistreatment at the hands of the authorities. We cross live now to Mickey Rosenfeld, who is the Israel Police National Spokesman to the foreign media. Mickey, if you can hear me, what is the official police position on what happened here?
What we know, what happened and what took place at the beginning of the week over the weekend is that there were a number of suspects that were involved in a fight in a local park. A police officer who was in plain clothes, he approached those individuals and requested to see their ID. What happened was the situation developed and they started throwing stones at him. He was hit and struck by stones and he felt that he was in a life-threatening situation. He responded by drawing his weapon, firing to the floor. And what we know is that the bullet struck the floor and then unfortunately struck one of the men, who was taken to hospital in serious condition and then later in the evening passed away. That's what we know about the ongoing investigation. The officer has been removed from duty as of now.
Now, reports say that witnesses actually say that the youth posed no threat to the officer. Have statements been taken from witnesses?
Yes, of course. Statements have been taken directly from the witnesses, everybody at the scene, as well as CCTV footage from the area. We'd like to emphasize that unfortunately it's a tragic event that took place. Since the burial of the individual that was unfortunately killed, number one, there's an investigation taking place as to what happened. And number two, the Israeli National Police are dealing and focusing with what has developed since the funeral, which has unfortunately been large-scale riots in and around almost all of the major junctions across Israel, from the north to the south, and police units have had to respond to tremendously violent incidents that have included officers that have been injured, more than 111 officers that have been injured, and we've made over 136 arrests in the last 48 hours from violent protesters.
Now, how well integrated is Israel's 140,000 strong Ethiopian community?
Well, the Israeli National Police work closely together with the Ethiopian community, the leaders of the community. Within the Israeli National Police, we have tens of officers from the Ethiopian community that are working with us. But unfortunately, the tensions have reached a new high. We allowed the protests to take place over the last 24 to 48 hours, where roads were blocked. But unfortunately, when it got out of control by the protesters who attacked civilians, police officers, throwing petrol bombs, as well as burning vehicles, that is something that's unacceptable, illegal. And our units, after yesterday's strategic decision which was made by the police commissioner, we will respond to any roadblocks or any violence that will take place, including today, where right now as we speak our extra units are located and mobilized all across the country.
What do you make of the fact that the Ethiopian community has complained of mistreatment before?
Well, just over 3 years ago there was a similar incident, and it took months and almost years in order to rebuild the trust and the connection between the Ethiopian community. And this is why unfortunately the most recent incident has taken both the Ethiopian community as well as the Israeli police to a level and an area which we didn't want to reach. It's obviously going to take time, but we're focusing on the period that we're in at the moment, which is dealing with the protests, calming the situation down. We're going to have to respond both today, most probably this afternoon, as well as this evening and possibly into the night, into protests. We're going to hope they're not going to be violent. If they will be, we'll respond, of course, with non-lethal weapons to disperse those rioters. and we'll have to carry out security assessments day by day here in Israel.
Mickey Rosenfeld, the Israel Police National Spokesman to the foreign media, thank you for your time and your comments.